Hello, hello. How's it going? All right. I see audio working. I see camera working. I know. 2 weeks in a row, Galen. No one sees anything. Wait, what are you talking about? I'm not. Um, hey, everybody. Also, a little game changer reference in there for anybody who's been watching that or enjoys that show. I've been watching it a lot lately. I also fixed the camera. There's a setting on the camera that I always forget. Like, you can't use audio. Karen, you hear me? Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. It says webcam, though. Is that the right audio? That's not the right audio. So, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me make sure. Is this... Hold on. Let's see. No, that's not the right mic. Hold on. See? Look at this. I knew it. I knew it. No. All right. Let's try that. Thank you. You were right, Joe. It was coming from a webcam. Okay. Let's try this again. Oh, now I'm like clipping. I feel like I need to bring it down a little bit. Okay. Yeah, so hopefully audio is much better now. So let me know about the audio. Yeah. So now you can tell that I need to shave a little bit better. Yeah, it's unfortunately that's the problem with. Quick, let's switch over to the little camera so you can't tell. Okay, thanks, Belgrand. So yeah. We got a good stream today. I'm excited for what we got going on. Got a lot of stuff. I've got training coming up next week, so I will be out for 2 Fridays in a row. So that's part of why I wanted to make sure I got today in. Maybe, yeah, I don't even think I'll be able to get one in next week because I'm flying out for Berlin Thursday. I'll actually be presenting for a university there on Friday. So I'm not reading your jokes, Galen. So we'll be doing this class. I will not be doing it with Sophia, as many people may already be aware. I didn't mention this on stream last week, I don't think. Honestly, it was a little too raw still for me. If you're not familiar, Sophia and I have been doing a training for many years. She ran a company called Margin Research, and just a couple weeks ago, tragically, she passed away. Sudden accident walking across the street, and so I was still processing kind of last week, and so some people have actually even said, hey, are you doing okay? You seem like you were a little off last week. And not only was I traveling in a hotel and dealing with the networking, but still kind of going through that. So thank you for those of you that that shared condolences. There's if you're interested, you can follow up on the tweet and the message here. There's a charity that her family has asked that folks donate to. If you knew her, if you were impacted by her, she had really an impact on this industry, like a huge impact. I'm not gonna talk much now because I want to keep going and not break down. So, but I will be in. We even debated our training class was going to be, like I said, starting a week from Monday at Offensive Con. And one of Sophia's coworkers, Ian from Margin, had been in the process of taking over some of her trainings, much like I've actually been swapping out a lot of the training stuff we do with Kyle, which some of you may know. He's been doing a lot of our, like a lot of these trainings. We've been able to get a bunch more trainings in. Like if you actually look at the rate of trainings just this year and last year, versus previous years, we're doing way more, and in large part because Kyle's been taking over a lot of that work because I do stuff like stream, and so it's been awesome having him even just improving the material and exercises and keeping them up to date. I was always like flying by the seat of my pants, and so he's doing a much better job maintaining that. And Sophia was already in the process of having one of her coworkers kind of help out with some of the trainings. So a little bit earlier than we all would have liked, but Ian will be going to Berlin and doing this training with myself. And so, yeah, if you're in Berlin then, or if you're at Offensive Con, look forward to seeing you. And if you, there is still signups available. So the class sold out last year, but this year we still have openings. So if people are interested, yeah, Squeaky Cheeks, that's it is sad. So okay, is that, let me see. Yeah. Oh, one other mention about Offensive Con. So one thing that I always announce to people, especially people who watch the stream or that are in our Slack, I'll usually mention we have like a company store, like mugs and hats and shirts and all sorts of stuff. And shipping internationally is super annoying. It's really expensive, and it's literally the actuals that we pay. Like we don't have like good discounted shipping, I guess, and so it costs a lot to ship things internationally. But anytime we're going to a conference, up to a reasonable amount of stuff, if we can fit it in our luggage, we can just hand deliver some of these things. And so if you live in Europe or have somebody going to Offensive Con that can carry something back to you, and you wanted to get something with like no shipping, that would be the time to do it. So you have like 5 days maybe to do that. If you do it in the next 5 days, and then make sure you let me know, I can grab it. Is 5 days right? It sounds about right. Maybe 4, just because I need to like load up the stuff from the office. So yeah, if you want any of that stuff, I can hand carry it. And even if you're just generally there, I'll have a ton of stickers too. So, ooh, okay. ACC, that sounds fantastic. If there's a link that you can either put in chat here, or if you join the Binary Ninja, slack.binary.ninja, and you can log in with an email address and join the stream channel there, which let me make sure I pull that up here. Make sure I've got up by the stream. There we go. Sorry, I'm just looking at everything else going on. Yeah. Okay. If you want me to take a look at that binary, I can. I think that one's in GitHub though, isn't it? I feel like that one's on GitHub. I've seen that one before. Download Labs. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we can take a look at that one. Absolutely. So, username, we're just kind of going over announcements, hanging out. We had some bad news I was sharing earlier about my friend Sophia. If you're familiar with that, but we're keeping moving, and now we're talking about Offensive Con, bring stuff out there. Exactly, Scott. You get it hand delivered. I've done it for many years, so you can get the good stuff. In fact, in particular, the Shop the Binary Ninja, yeah, the mugs are really hard to ship internationally because they tend to break. But in a piece of luggage, especially when I put in my carry-on, they can pat them with a bunch of socks, right? It tends to survive. So if you ever want a coffee mug, that's the way to do it. So ACC, thank you. I very much appreciate that suggestion. I will absolutely. Oh, fun fact, by the way. Let me see if this still works. So, see how this is a self-extracting archive, and this one's the actual 7-zip. I know I'm on a Mac, but let's try this and see what happens. So if I download a dangerous download blocked. No, thanks Chrome. You're so helpful. Do I have a samples folder on this machine? I should. Oh, actually, yeah. Well, I've been putting them on the enterprise server, so let me just download it. So let's grab that. So even though it's an executable, wait, what? Oh, thanks GitHub. Chrome will let me download it because it's malware. GitHub won't do it because the user agent, I think. Hold on a second. Brew, install. Will wget do it better? Let's see. I think I have homebrew on this box. We'll see. Oh, thanks. Yeah, they're nice mugs. But everything in the store is really high quality. Like the shirts are super comfy and cozy. Like I get like really nice shirts. We're not like making a ton of money on these and buying cheap materials. We make basically nothing when you count labor involved, but we make less than like $5 per item in the store. And that's really just to make things kind of round and even. We don't really do it as a profit, just as so we're not losing money giving away free stuff infinitely. But you can get free stuff too for different different competitions that we do. There we go. Yeah. So, oh, I know what it was. Yeah, following your redirects. Curl by default doesn't follow redirects. So that's nice. File even identifies it as a self-extracting archive. So if we install 7-zip, let's see if this still works. 7-zip x. No, what was it called again? Practical is practical. Practical. Oh, it did have one error. But yeah, basically, if it's a self-extracting archive, you can directly 7-zip. Is it just unrar? It said it was a rar, so let's try that. Unrar. Unrar. Oh, 1R. No, that's not right. Unrar. Brew search rar. I can find a lot of that stuff. Is it just rar? Homebrew unrar. Oh, really? Okay. Oh, that's probably why it's in a cask. We could just do this. Another named rar. Okay, maybe that one just works. Let's try that. It'll be a cask instead of the main line, but maybe that works. Rar lab. Is that the same as the unrar, folks? Looks like it. All right, let's try that. So let's see if that one works. I mean, I could literally just get the 7-zip file instead. I don't know why I'm being ornery and insist on doing this route, but we'll try it. Oh, chat's off. I don't know if it matters, but we can turn that on the stream. So yeah, while I'm grabbing this, again, thank you ACC for your suggestion. I would love other people's suggestions. So please post them in Slack, put them in chat. We'll get them. Oh, did it already get extracted? Oh, are these actually extracted? Five, we said. Yeah, okay, those are just empty. All right, didn't extract right. Practical, malware, analysis labs, unrar x, practical. Let's try it again. Oh, wait a minute. Is this macOS doing its thing? You right click and choose open, you tell it open anyways, and then it's allowed, I think is the, there we go. Okay, so it eventually worked. Yeah. So anyways, I just like that. If it's a self-extracting RAR or even self-extracting 7-zip, whatever, you can just run the tool without running that executable. So, oh, it's probably in MacPorts too. Yeah, MacPorts and Homebrew and I have we've had some debates over the years. Hold on, got this flashing red thing on my thing for my timer countdown. There we go. Okay, make sure it's not flashing on the Stream Deck below me. My timer that I used to count down when it's done like flashes red now. I just had to reset it so it's not constantly. All right, so we've got, and also let's make sure. I think I installed, oh, wait, do I have another one too? Okay, that's the old one. So yeah, I'm just installing the new, also what is downloading? Finishing an update. Windows downloads, do we still have a download? Oh, it blocked that. Oh, I could have just said keep it. That would have been easier too. That's all right. We had a fun little side adventure in installing RAR and whatnot. So let's just remove it because we already got it. We'll go ahead and quit Chrome while we're at it since we're going to restart it. And Safari. Okay. So, we've got the latest Dev Binja 4.0. Fancy little thing there. You can check out all the new user stuff. I don't know if people noticed that we actually refreshed this. Our little pop-up thing doesn't have like a don't show me again because it doesn't show you again by default until like the next major version where we actually updated it and changed it. So we have some new things in here. We used to have a bunch of Easter eggs that I didn't have time to put into here. When you moused over them, one of the little Team Binja characters would come on with something cute and say something. So that's missing, unfortunately, from this version. I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but it probably wasn't worth all the effort we put into it. Okay, so let's go back to here And let's go into our stream binaries project, which I wanted to make a separate one. We got binary collection. So let's make a folder and call it, not import folder. We want to create a new folder once more. And then inside this folder, let's import a file. And let's do chapter 5. Let's see. Okay. So let's open this up. And there we go. So let me see if there is a, double check if this is the right file. lab501.dll. All right, so what they want to do is, so they just want you to basically XOR decrypt with, what is 55? Capital U, okay. Wait, well, I accidentally closed, oh, that's right. By the way, that happened. I hit Command N to make a new window, or Control N to do the same thing, and it makes a new separate window, not because it's not in the project, right? So I'm not making a new file. I can do it here and do, I think, a new empty file. No, I think by default, new empty file makes it not in the project. Is there a way to make a new file in the project? I guess you'd have to like save it somewhere else. I hadn't really thought about that feature in a while. I'll make a note on that. New file in project. I don't know if that's just one of the questions. Yeah, this is just the one that has an example. So feel free to ask me some of those questions. Let's do them. Hey Remco, welcome. Oh, good luck Remco with your search for the type leak there. Hopefully we can. I haven't checked Slack in a little bit, so if I missed it, sorry about that. So yeah, ACC, definitely ask me any of the questions. I think I have, actually, hold on. Let me check if I have practical malware analysis. I know I have it at home. I think I have it here in the office. I'll be right back. Yeah, it's not here. Let me make a note to get that in. Yeah, all right. Reminder to bring that one in. Oh, I did. I forgot I have my be right back thing. See, I could have done that, and you guys could have had some nice hold music waiting for you. But let's look at the sample. So you'll notice this is not a BNDB. I've just opened the file and analyzed it. But if I hit save, this is if you're using like the new projects interface, or if you're using enterprise. Now it'll save it back as a BNDB. So now any changes I make are saved inside the project. Oh, yeah, projects are only available in commercial and enterprise, but it's like literally that and headless, I think, are the only two technical differences between non-commercial and commercial. Helps with organization, and you can do some nice cross-linking, but otherwise full APIs in that. So actually, you know what? Let's just look for, I don't actually have sidekick. Do I have, I think I did it this way. Okay, I made a, yeah, I did make, okay, where's dev? So I made a sidekick profile that has sidekick installed. So I might actually switch out. Let's do that. We've already got that one saved. So let's swap that one out, because I want to use one of the features of sidekick. And to be clear, sidekick is our paid add-on, but the feature that I'm about to use doesn't require the paid account. Rico, that's a great question. We do have that data, and we've generated like dashboards and stats before on it. I don't think I have something fresh right now, but we absolutely do, just because like when you by default, when you have updates turned on, and you're like when you're checking for updates, and your Binja also checks. Oh, I freaked out for a second. Thought I was gonna leak my key. I forgot we did that. Yeah, stream. It's not stream mode. It's just always like that. But you don't get your serial by default. So yeah, if you are a streamer using Binja. If you used to bring this up, it would just show your serial number there, which is generally a bad idea because anyone with your serial number can get your downloads. Or cannot get your downloads, but can actually, yeah, they could use it to, I guess, trigger emails to you or something. But anyway. Oh, that's a good question. DLL main. I opened the wrong one, didn't I? Let's try again. The database. So DLL main, we do automatically find DLL main a lot of the time right now. But I'm not sure why we didn't on this one. I have to go look at that. Yeah, in fact, like, let's just go open some other random sample I have sitting around in my download folder just as a demonstration. So here is .blob. Is that what is the blob? Yeah, there's a P. There it is. Okay, so let's see if, no, open it fresh. Once you do all your initial analysis. So that's driver entry, which is actually not what I want either. It's just also a driver. Yeah, this init page, this one looks like another driver. Yeah, I was specifically looking at drivers here for this one. Actually, let me just poke in a bunch of these other ones. I'm curious if I just pull like some of these. Yeah, I'm surprised we're not getting oh, you know what? DLL main. I think that's the difference. Hey, Kimbo, welcome. So the short summary is we did a little bit of announcements, did a little bit of an intro, and right now I'm asking the audience to give me any particular binaries, tutorials, walkthroughs. So for example, I've got a couple links of things that I have in case the audience doesn't have suggestions. But the idea is, like, let me see here. Anytime somebody's like, for example, there was an old crack me that somebody wrote up like a write-up using Ghidra. Like, here's how you would analyze like this crack me. And I may have done this one in Binja before. I don't remember. I'll have to look. You guys remind me if it sounds familiar. But I like to go through them and just reproduce it and do it again in Binja. It could also just be a sample or exercise. So right now we're looking at a couple of the labs from the Practical Malware Analysis book, which ACC suggested. Turla sample, beautiful. Okay, ethical. I can't get that. Can I get that over the other machine? Yeah, let me get that hash real quick. Let me grab that. Let me see this chat come up. Why is chat not loading? I think one of my browser plugins was blocking chat. There we go. Okay. So stop with your pop-ups. No. It's doing this pop-up over top of the hash when I try to copy it. Stop. Oh man, there we go. Okay, I think I got it. All right. Go grab bizarre. And let's search. Bye, Peter. Peter's leaving. Say bye, everybody. Oh, I was just logged in. All right. I am not a robot. Thanks, search. Okay. Oh, interesting. Any run actually has the sample. Nice. All right. Let me sign in there and grab that. It's not doing my auto login. All right, so let me see. Where was it? Oh, now there we go. Okay. So logging into any run, we'll see if we can go download that Turla sample. So yeah, we'll keep looking through samples. We'll keep trying different things out. So let me refresh this page. Now I can download. We don't accept direct downloading. What? They must have changed that. That's fine. Let's try the other ones. Malshare. Let's try Malshare. Ooh, make a noise. Oh, my phone slipped. Sorry, this is all happening on my other machine. I know it makes it a little less interesting. Okay, so let's find that hash. There we go. Download the sample into downloads. And now, it's one of the reasons I like using, you know what? I had a thing called streams already, and I made a new one called stream binaries. I think what I call the new one? Stream binaries, yeah, I did. Stream binaries. So the nice thing is I can just throw things straight into the project. So let's go grab that one. Oh, it's not done downloading it. Oh, because it's being blocked again, I bet, isn't it? I bet it is. Downloads. Keep dangerous file. Keep anyway. Yeah, I know. Thank you. All right. Now let's throw that in. Okay. So we should. Is there a refresh? Hold on. I thought there was a refresh. Ah, there it is. I know there's a refresh here somewhere. Okay. Did it upload? What happened? Why don't I see it? Maybe I put it in the wrong one. That's weird. Oh, also it thinks I've never opened that, but I have opened it. All right, I'm not sure why I didn't upload that file. Maybe do the database. Let's try that. There we go. Okay. So there's the Turlo sample. Okay, so we'll get to that next. Why can't I see everyone? I can scroll in chat. Okay. So yeah, let's get back. Yeah, so keep doing your suggestions. I'll make notes. I'll add them to the repo, and then we'll go through them as we have time. So where were we with this is challenge 5. So I saw the one had. All right, was it this one? Where'd it go? Oh, this is the old sidekick. Hold on. Yeah, please update sidekick. Let's let it update itself. It's the problem with not running this machine for a while since I haven't streamed on this one. So let's update sidekick and get the latest versions. You can tell because the icons get a lot prettier. It's much nicer. It's the most obvious way. And then let's go back to, actually, we can just do this. I kind of want to just look for an XOR. And I think I showed off the advanced binary search last time on stream, but I didn't really know how to use it, and I do now. So let's talk about that real quick. In the, not here, we have to go in the dev. So the dev version of the API docs and the user docs, so you can just put dev in front of it, or if you're running a dev build that has newer features, and you go to the help and go to open user guide, it should automatically open, well, actually open your local machine's documentation, but this will also be the dev docs as well. So you can get your user guide from here. And okay, sorry, I want a user guide, and then I want search, find, I forget what it's find, yeah. There we go, advanced binary search. Okay, so this one now explains the new syntax for that. So you can link to the API docs right here. So it talks about the different patterns it can search for. And so yeah, I mentioned that last stream, but I don't think I hadn't yet figured out how to use it either. So now I know how to do that. Yeah, let me make a note about the old plugin, old versions too, Rico. I will post a note on either Twitter or Slack or something with that data. I'll go like sample like the last month worth of updates, and we'll just give you a who's running prior to the latest stable, right? So usually I would recommend most plugin authors just support the latest stable as their minimum. But if you did that, I'll tell you what percentage of people you would lose. Because that's true, I haven't checked in a while. It may be that more people are not updated if they just didn't renew or. So DLL main, yeah, let's talk about that. Right, win main, I think was what we added recently, and I wonder. I think in the repo, let's try DLL main. I think there's an open issue for that. Yeah, here it is. So we have main on x64 PE, but we should do smarter win main W main and also DL main driver entry. Although it's funny because we do driver entry. If you notice that those other samples that I was looking at earlier, these, sure, it shouldn't matter. Unless I've actually been navigating around. I haven't, yeah. GS driver entry. Or does GS driver entry, is that the entry point? It is actually. So that one, yeah, it doesn't really matter. You don't really need that on those apparently. Today I learned. But yeah, that's still a something that we could improve on, is actually recognizing DLL main. Let me see. So ACC, if you want to look at local variables, there's a couple ways we can do that. So let's take this, our malware sample. Oh, that's right. I was going to do the find thing and I got a little distracted. Me get distracted? No. Jordan, you never get distracted. Actually, yeah, let's just do find all. That's fine. So we can look at all of the XORs. And most of these are interesting. I mean, this definitely looks like, right, we're unrolling some like obfuscated stuff where we're just doing a bunch of like not XOR, some weird like constant. Although, is this actually a crypto thing or this is just like a crack me style thing, it looks like. Yeah. So let's see, where were we? So this is actually one nice thing too. It's being able to search, have persistent search of all of basically the decompilation, which is handy. I don't see XOR 55, which is interesting. So I wonder whether one of these actually works out to be. No, that's a loop counter. If it's an I, it's automatically a loop counter. So we're in some sort of loop. So that doesn't seem like that should be a constant value. I can hold control. Yeah, and if it knows anything about the constant value of any of these variables, we would see it. So by default, these are just tooltips that show up all the time. Anytime you hover something, I turn that off by default. I like to like explicitly hold a hotkey when I hover to be able to see it, just because I'll be pointing my mouse when I'm streaming and pop-ups all over the place kind of annoy me. So you'll notice that you don't have to do that when you want to look at those tooltips. So ironically, I don't see anything that does the XOR. I could even do disassembly and look for XOR. We're gonna find, yeah, a lot of these though, right? Just the straight like zeroing of registers. The nice thing though is that Binja actually is gonna show us their zeroing. I don't know why this one doesn't get annotated as a 00, just for EBX. That's weird. That is weird to me. That's hard coded. I can't think why that one would be lifted differently. But yeah, the vast majority of these are just zeroing things out, which is nice because we can just see that. Something's going on there. Actually, what are these? Unresolved stack pointer. Yeah, okay, so if it's an indirect control flow, indirect call to a function where it's callee cleanup, right? Callee or color? Callee, all right, callee cleanup. x86 32-bit calling convention. So you actually don't know what the stack is depending on like what the control flow graph looks like. You have different paths and you have different indirect control flow. It's basically like a multi-variable equation that doesn't have a strict solution because you have to like find out where that calls and what the function does. Like where does EDI go? And how many arguments does it take? Oh, it's just send. Is that all it is though? Oh, let me see. So we should have, yeah, we have type info on send. It looks nice and pretty. So we should actually know. So we should know, yeah, we should know it's a pointer to send. So can I guess I'm in low level IL, maybe, or I'm in, oh, it does resolve. Okay. Yeah, it does resolve into send when I actually do it at medium level. So it's just because we're at the lower levels that it shows that. So anyway, or is just unresolved stack pointer. It may not have been that call to send. It may have been something else. Yeah, I wonder if, well, whatever. I'm not going to worry about that too much. We're going to keep going through our list of XORs looking for like an XOR 55. Actually, you know what I can do? You can filter within this. This would have been faster. I can literally just filter for 55. 0x55? No, not from this. Oh, filter. That's what I wanted. There we go. 55. Yeah, so that's just going to have 55 somewhere in the function or something else, but there's no 0x55. Interesting. I'm not sure what that... oh, this is chapter 5, right? Yeah, this is chapter 5 binary still. I know, sorry, I'm not looking in chat, so I know I might have been missing important information. So this one is explicitly, maybe the actual implementation is more complicated than that. And this is just like for a particular set of strings. There are some, like this, for example, like we could just decrypt this. But what I want to show is you can actually just right click and transform and XOR this and just put in whatever XOR key you want. We can look at this. Do we think that's better? I don't. This looks like, no, it's not compressed because we've got a little structure here. I'm not sure what that is. These 3Fs become 6As. Huh. Yeah, I don't know if this one is XORed with 55 necessarily. I'm not sure what that is. If that's code, well, I guess we could just XOR it, look at it as code. So we can transform XOR, do our 55 XOR key. Yeah, but like this just doesn't look like x86 code to me. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know what that is, but I don't think that's code. So I think that whatever that is, that's some other part of the binary that's not XOR by 55. All right, let me get caught up here on chat. So, yeah, Remco, if you wanna DM me something on the Binja Slack, I can pull it up. Just yeah, put it in a zip with like a password. Although I don't remember if they look in infected or not as the default keyword. It is funny to me when services do that, right? Like they actually check for infected as a default password. Right, local variables. AC, I got completely sidetracked looking for that. This could be XOR 55. I don't think so though. You know what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to hit Command Enter or something here, and it's not working. I have to click apply. So there's the string. XOR is this backdoor string decoded for, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. So like, yeah, here's the answer of one of the questions anyways, right? So that's our little blob there. And we could do it in the command line too, and just XOR the bytes, but I like showing the transform feature being built right in. Or you can even like copy as, and then I think you can, or I say, yeah, I thought you could copy as the XOR. Maybe you can only do that with a transform. I don't know why I thought that was a paste. Yeah, that was just a transform. XOR specifically done that way. So same with some of the other ones. So anyway, let's go back to one of these functions. Let's just pick one of these and let's go look here. So the local variables are here. So as long as you're on Binary Ninja 4.0 ACC, this is like the local variable list, right? And so you can see like, well, that's a global variable there that it references. So it's both, these are all the globals. If they go with data, they're global, but local variables are here. And so we can see them getting defined in each function that we're in. You'll also note, this is kind of a cool feature. This is one of my favorites. The Binja, no, I do them all. The Binja UI will, oops, I don't want that. Oops. I'm hitting like every wrong hotkey. Okay, kill that. Navigate back, hide that. There we go. So the variable view, notice these, because I add a particular line in the function, if Binary Ninja knows something about the value of those variables at this point in the program, like static analysis, obviously it's not a debugger right now, that we have a separate debugger you can use to do the same thing, like in a live debugging session, but it knows that this data variable is this value, this data variable is this value. If it knows things about other variables as we go through here, it'll actually annotate them. There's a good example. So socket, at this point, we know is not -1, right? We don't know what the value is, but we know it's not -1 because presumably, oh, right, there's literally a check right here. So that variable here must be not, the return value of connect is not -1 to be inside this loop, which is kind of neat. And like at this point, we don't know what it is because it could have fallen through or it could have, taken the other case. So we've lost that information. So just as you're like going through a binary, you can see that in our variable view, which is super neat. If you want to play with this particular sample, screenshot and extract that hash, and you can look it up. Maybe somebody else will post it. But they're on like Malware Bazaar or Malshare. Every one of the samples so far that I've been playing with. Although, sorry, this one's not the malware sample. This is the reversing or practical. Yeah, if you search for practical malware analysis, Lab 5, and then there's a GitHub. So yeah, there's a tarball here. So that's where I got these particular ones, but all the rest of them, I just put the hashes into some of the sharing sites. How many local variables? Oh, okay, interesting. 4 OX1656. So that's a it was 1656. That's an interesting question because, like, yeah, some of these variables, in this variable view, we show multiple variables because we'll show different levels. We have our different levels of optimization, and we'll show multiple there. I don't think there's a way, unfortunately, to say like just show me high level. Oh, there is. There's another way we can show that. So if I turn on show variable types at top of function. Yeah, so you can see how many variables Binja has made in this function. It is a lot more than 23. So whether it's because yeah, like some of these maybe we could combine in some instances, or yeah, there's a lot of reasons for different amount of variables, whether things get folded. Let me see, is there anything else? Yeah, but that's a weird question. How many local variables are? I mean, I guess it's because they want you to learn the tool, so you would need the exact tool if you're going to get a question that specific. But yeah, that's just in general. That's another tip that you can turn on the local variable view here. Not sure typecasts. I want that. Yep, at top of function. All right, I'm getting caught up. I know I'm behind. Oh yeah, so Nakalan, absolutely. The find that I just mentioned, Command F or Control F, has this advanced binary search now, and it does support, like, you can actually do FF F, for example. Show me all like bytes where, oh, I probably want to do that like in disassembly maybe. Let's do it there. I don't think a push should be, oh, it is. or F5 F. Okay, yeah. So that matched my pattern. Now it's across multiple bytes in this particular case, right? Right. So actually, that's always going to be the case. Either a push or if it's in the middle of one of these. I don't see the jump not equal. Oh, if it's misaligned. Yeah, it's going to be like, yeah, somewhere misaligned. It's going to find that pattern. But you can do that. You can also do devdocs binary.binja. Oh, I really want the API, dev API. Oh, that's fine. I'll get it from here. User guide, find. And then the syntax for that search. Oh, actually, there's an example there. You can also do regular expression, right? So you can do like full regular expression, but you can also just like mask off, right? So I can say anything, and then there's another one, right? So only 5.5 followed by some other byte followed by a 5.5. Although, yeah, so it's misaligning. Let's look at this one. Oh, yeah, there we go. You can see it. Yeah, so it's showing me what it would be if I disassembled at that offset. Oh, and that makes sense. There's these 5.5s right here. So there's a 5.5, another 5.5, and then another 5.5, right? So it matched that that particular pattern. So yes, now we do have that. Oh, Galen, you already did that. I'm behind. Yeah, and I was doing specifically like, you can also do like nibbles. You can do part of it with the one question mark. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I know it was insignificant. I intentionally was doing a partial one before when I did that search. And on this one, I was explicitly doing like a full byte. But anyway, I'm still a little surprised. I don't know why 5.5 question mark 5.5 would match 33BA 9A. It's matching like here, but that doesn't look right. So I think I might want to like show this one to Brian. I'm going to ask him about that tomorrow. Okay, let's I can make a note. Yeah, it is nice to be able to do partial matches like on a nibble. And again, you also have full regular expressions, so you can do it that way. And I like that you can do that filtering down here too, so you can also use that as another mechanism. So search just got way better, which is super nice. In fact, that was one of my notes that I wanted to cover this stream, so we got that. Okay, so let's see. Any other questions? If you think of other questions, yeah, it would be hard to use Binja to answer the question of exactly how many variables does item make. It's just such a tool specific question, and depends on like a million other factors. So that would be hard to reproduce in Binja. I can appreciate that. The DLL main one, yeah, I think the main thing to mention there is you can actually upvote and also just subscribe to issues in GitHub if you're logged in, and you'll get notified as we make changes or close that one out, because that is what we do kind of keep in mind. So all right, we got a couple other samples. I'll leave that one open. Actually, we're going to restart now because sidekick just updated. So let's get the latest and greatest, and we'll see what other. Yeah, exactly, Valgrind. Even the exact version of IDA you're using is 100% going to impact that. Oh, Scott, you know what? That's a good question. In fact, I think somebody even pointed out that was a change in 4.0, and I didn't remember it even being intentional. That like let's find something. So like let's take this function 1 and 2 and 3. And so if I type, let's name this function 1 and name this function 2. So if I search for 1, I get all of them. And if I type 2, yeah, so right now it's an OR. And the question is there a way to make it just do an and? And I don't know if that was an intentional change or not. So yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that one because I was going to ask somebody about that as well too. I'll make a note there. I'm just thinking now. I wonder if the search was also doing a regex and not just that byte pattern match. I don't think it was. I think it specifically uses a heuristic and chooses one mode. I think Brian mentioned that. Okay, so let me do that. Plugin authors, and then all right, we're gonna do and in the symbol. Yeah, I gotta follow up because I suspect that might have actually just been an unintended change. I don't know if that was a conscious choice or not. So it's a good question mark. Okay, Aquilon, you just did the same thing. Yeah, you did the exact same idea as me. Can you make a graph of all API calls under a function recursively? So there's a couple ways we can do that. That's a good question. Yeah, so I'll get back to you on that one, Scott. And yeah, I'll definitely make sure we get the answer to that one. For the recursive thing, let's look at, so let's see, we've got the call graph and call tree. Actually, I've already got the call tree plugin enabled. So if we pick one of these functions and then we go to the call tree, this one doesn't call anything. So that's a really boring example. How about this one? There we go. So we can see all of the other calls that this one makes. But that one said specifically API calls, right? So we're looking specifically for imports and not the way I would do that. Let me see. Let's actually do that. Let's do a sidekick index here. So let's add an index. Do we already have one for imports? I don't think we do. Let me make a new one, see how this works. So the thing I'm doing right now, where I'm asking Sidekick to write code for me, would not be possible with the free version. But I'm just using it to save myself some time. It should basically be iterating over the IL and checking if it's a call and if the destination has a symbol of like import symbol, I think is what it is. Let's see what it does. If it's a call and if it's constant and if it's in imported functions, where does imported functions come from? Find import calls, import. Oh, equals. Get symbols of type. I mean, maybe that's pretty good. That's pretty good. I don't know. Let's try it. Let's see what happens. Okay, so that one didn't work. We got an error in it, but it looked plausible. That's the one thing LLMs are really good at. Return an invalid entry. Oh, interesting. Okay. Calls. I really don't want to, I don't want to yield the function. I want to yield the instruction though. So let me do this instead. I just want the location. Let's just yield the instructions. And actually I can make this my indexer. I don't think I need the other function import. I don't think I need that. Let's try this. That was clearly not right because we only got two things, so something's off on it a little bit. But the idea is, let's fix it up. Let's make sure we get it right. So let's actually just look, because here's a call here, for example, and it's doing it a medium level IL, so that's fine. We'll just do that. Current IL instruction. All right, so the code is looking for if the operation is a call, and probably could do this better. So the operation is an MLIL call, And the destination.const, no, what was it? Just destination operation is a constant pointer. Okay. Ah, that's what we want. Is actually, so this is actually what we're looking for. Okay, so if operation external, okay, that, yeah. If it's an import, just straight up, maybe just yield from here. Yield instruction. Okay, this should give us all of the imports. Yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so now we can use, and again, this code runs on the free version of the plugin. So if you just go to the plugin manager and search for Sidekick, you can install that one. And now we can use the code insight map, which is also a Sidekick feature, and we can show calls to imports. So this is every call to an import from the function we've got in one level of parent up and 2 down. But we could change this and make it more. 1 up is not going to help us anymore because that will start. But yeah, so you can. There's your answer. I'm happy to share the indexer codes afterwards. And you could make it actually like way simpler. So really, this could be as simple as, let's do this in bv.mlil instructions. I think this is literally all we need. And actually, the real answer, even better than all this, because that and so I think this should be the same actual, like the same functionality. Yeah, yep, exactly. So that's really all we needed. And we could even do this with like there's a traverse API that will walk sub expressions and things, which is probably a good idea to use instead. But I'll say that one for another time. So, Akimbo, your question is a sample that had virtualized code and then custom bytes were being interpreted as. Yeah, so I mean, Binja is actually really good for that because if you have, for example, made your own Binary Ninja architecture plugin for whatever their virtual opcodes are, that even if you just do disassembly and you don't do any lifting, you can create, like, let's just say this particular malware sample had some bytes in here that were actually like a virtual machine, right? And so let's go back to text view or linear view. Let's go linear view. So let's say it's obviously string, some structures. What else we got? There we go. Okay, let's pretend this is actually some like virtual instructions. You can actually just create a new architecture, which is a little bit of work. It's to make a new custom architecture, but there's several write-ups I can link you to. And then you can make a function at this address, and like your architecture will show up here. You can be like, yeah, just make that architecture here. And it will now create a brand new function, do its full analysis, whether it's just disassembly or lifting and decompilation for that virtual instruction set in the same binary. In other words, you can have multiple architectures, virtual architectures, real architectures inside of the same space in Binary Ninja, and it's totally fine with that. It's one of the architectural changes. No, ACC, that's a good question. There is not. Right now, a couple of them come for free in like just in the UI. Actually, part of the problem is a lot of these are like actually use the machine learning models. So some of these are very special and like they wouldn't work without it. This one though looks like it would. Like this is database strings. That one's a good, interesting example, one that you probably could run. But like I think crypto calls. This one uses some of our machine learning models to like filter symbols essentially. So that one unfortunately wouldn't be useful without the Sidekick account. I have asked the team though that like any of these that don't require like this one, this one comes by default. Indexed value. I don't know if index value is using the machine learning in the backend or not, but it might not. Anything that doesn't require it, we want to add. Oh, I know what that bug is. There's a bug in the syntax highlighter and it crashes Binja. It's actually kind of my fault, even though it's Sidekick that did it, because I wrote the syntax highlighting code for snippets that we reused in that. So I feel it makes the Sidekick team look bad, and it's not their fault. Actually, it's not the one I wanted to open. I wanted to open the project. Yeah, lab 5. Yeah, I've got that one on my to-do list to run down. It's a bug, and I'm pretty sure I know what needs to be done to fix it. So in particular, wait a minute, this is not the same one, is it? That's yeah, that was a different one. Let's try this one again. Oh, John Doe, there absolutely is. So let's say, for example, I'm like looking at this file and I'm working on my own little local plugin. I want to run it. 2 things. The first one is if you go to the Binary Ninja docs and go to developer guide, writing plugins, there's a section on, yeah, right here, testing your own plugin, where you can reload the plugin without restarting Binary Ninja. That said, if you're building an architecture plugin or binary view, certain other ones, you do have to restart. But there's a restart and reopen files command palette action, and I've got that bound to a hotkey. That's not a default, but I like setting that up. So if I just hit Command R, Binary Ninja will reload itself, open the same file, go to the same spot, and do all the same stuff, which is very useful when you're writing a plugin and testing things. Yep, I see Galen got that too. So Remco.net is a little different. .net doesn't work only because it doesn't work with our architecture model, because it has like metadata at the top of each function. So when you like call a function in .NET, the address that you give the virtual CPU is not actually the start of the function. It's like the start of some metadata. And like normally you're running in an interpreter, right? Which like parses the metadata and parses the header information and then starts interpreting the rest of the bytecode. And so JVM and .NET both have this problem. I think PYC files do too, where they don't really work very well because Binja just assumes when you have the instruction pointer and you call a thing, you move the instruction pointer to that value, because that's how real CPUs work. So, oh yeah, reopen file. No, .NET is not planned, Akalan. It's just kind of not on our roadmap. I think there's a lot of great .NET tools. I do think we have a good enough API that it would be nice. I think I know some people would like to be able to do it kind of all in one. But right now we're really just focused primarily on physical architectures. So AR64, ARM, x86, x64, now again, most like virtual Packer, virtual machine type things, a lot of those will still work just fine with simple instruction sets. And there's several write-ups online of writing binary initial plugins to analyze those kind of things. But like .NET and Java are just in particular, I just feel like there's too many other good tools out there for doing that, and so it's really not something that we want to focus on. Let me make a note, by the way, of that repo for indexers, because that is a great suggestion, and I'm going to add that one I just wrote for imports because I think that's a useful one to it. So yeah, that's a good suggestion. All right, so where were we? So yeah, so we wrote our indexer. We showed how we can do the call graph. Let me see what other questions. That has never happened before, Valgrind, is that what you said? It has definitely happened before. All right. Graph of API. Yeah, we did that. The regex. Okay. JE, I don't have a VirusTotal account, so I would prefer Malshare. If you do, send that link. Valgrind, when you said I'm full screen, I'm just making sure I missed messages. I had the chat like on the thing here. Was yeah, if the chat's blocking something and you guys ever need me to move it, or my face, you'll have to see me too. But they say your stream numbers go up when you actually have face cam, right? Okay, I think I'm mostly caught up. If I missed a question, oh, that's cool. So somebody did add reopen files. Interesting. Oh, if you've like just even made a change to a file, reopen current file. Huh, yep. Cool. We talked about the variable view. We talked about the showing the static values there. Let's see. Let's go to a different binary. So once more, what else do we have? We had the lab that we checked out. just a couple of things there. We did show that the XOR worked. We could write some code too to do the equivalent of that IDA snippet. We could do that. In fact, we could even, I even done this before on stream. I'll have to like dig up the link and do it. But there's an old stream I wrote a little plugin where we showed how, find that one obfuscated string. There we go. We showed how you can make your own custom transform, and so you could literally have like a decrypt. In fact, it literally was an XOR with a fixed key, I think was the example I did. And it would just be like decrypt XOR 5, and you'd hit that in one shot and it would redo it. You just do it as a plugin. Or you can even, trigger via the command palette then, whatever the custom transform was. So you would even have to hit 5 and hit enter to do that. So just as a side note, that's another kind of fun thing to do. But let's go back to this. So this was Turla, I think somebody mentioned. So let's take a look at that and see what sidekick can do with it. Oh, I just realized JE is Josh. How's it going? Welcome. Okay, so yeah, let me pull up that. Let's see if Slack eats it. Oh, cool. And I see another, is it B00C? Awesome. Thank you for posting that as well too. Or is that the one we're looking at? Is that the same person? I think it might be because I am in the stream channel and I see it there. All right, let me grab that one and send it over. So this one's hash begins with AA85. So let me upload that to the server. Let's see. I'm going to generate a, I'm going to generate the database too instead of just doing that. I've already done all the work on that machine, so I might as well review it that way. All right, so let's open that one too. Okay, so we've got Turla, and we've got, actually, let me make a note of that one too. This is something that I like about projects, is being able to like annotate things and be like, sample use sidekick to investigate, right? So I can leave some notes for myself in the little description field, which is cool. And you don't need, I'm doing it with enterprise like on a server where we have lots of projects, but you can do this with local projects too. Okay, so this one was Turla, right? 03, and then this one is, no, the other way around. This one's Turla, yeah. There's Turla, and this one is the recent one where there was a question about finding. So this was saying the main was obfuscated by, oh, yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so if we pull up like low level. No, maybe it wasn't that one. Let me see. Oh, okay, Galen, you're not a Josh. Sorry, JE and B00C are the same person then. That makes sense. Thanks to Josh who built that feature. I don't think Josh is on the stream right now, but okay. It's making more sense now. All right, so let's do this. Let's look at this. So the question was, question was over here on the other machine. It was in Slack, specifically the function call in main in. Okay, yeah. So let's just go to the. Is this the main one? Initialize, is it here? Yeah, get module handle. Yeah, if you, let me just keep going here. So that one's, I thought that was the call to main. Not it. Or is this main right here? Could be. There's not a whole lot to see here in this one. Let's see. Oh, there is, okay, there are some like off. So I think I mentioned this briefly earlier, but on x86 32-bit calling conventions, you get these errors more often because indirect control flow. So, also you can use a mouse wheel and hold shift to go left and right, and then just mouse wheel to go up and down. So if I don't have my trackpad handy, which I miss sometimes when I'm on a different machine, you can also always just click and drag too. Yeah, so that one's showing the stack is misaligned as well. Oh, there we go, 406, let's see. 406 B70. Oh, okay, yeah, that was here. Oh, that's a fun one. ASCII adjust after subtract. This one's like, this is for like, this instruction is literally for octal. It's not octal. Is it octal? It's one of the weird like representations, like not base what do they call it? It's like base 10 represented in hex values in the register or something. Is that what AAS is? I'm gonna get completely nerd sniped here. I thought it was yeah, Google is absolutely gonna like hide that. ASCII adjust after subtraction. Yeah, it's literally for BCD. That's what I was thinking of. Binary coded decimal, not octal. Yeah, it definitely does look like junk. Inc as or yeah. Is this even supposed to get here? Oh, that is a weird one. Oh, wow. Yeah, when are we ever adding one? That is weird. Wait, adding one to ESP? That's okay. So no, this just never goes. Okay, right. In fact, Binja even tells us. That's funny. Yeah, so this is a good example where you can see, in fact, if I go to low level IL or is it medium? One of the two of them, it's literally gonna like disappear because it knows for a fact that it can never be, that is not equal to that. So it will always take this branch. So this, yeah, this ESP plus one is absolutely garbage. And I think it just goes away at one point. I guess it goes away here in the high level IL too, but let's go back to figure out why this. So we should always get here. Why does the call go away? That is very interesting. That is a good question. Okay, so let's see here. Unresolved stack value. It's because it loops on itself, even though I think it never can. My bet is this is no return. Oh, let's try that. Hold on. Oh, it's a pure function? Wait, what? Maybe 3. Oh, yeah, it is. That function literally just changes your stack. Oh, that's, yeah, it's just gonna obvious. That is a good obfuscation. Okay, so I think what's happening is it's using, yeah, where'd it go? So somewhere much earlier, it put the value that it actually wanted to navigate to on the stack so that this, that is super weird to me though. Why does, oh, yeah, I don't know why that doesn't work. So just double clicking that doesn't work. But if I think if I just do this, so if I make that function is no, because we know this function is going to be no return, it was just garbage afterwards. It's never, I don't think it's ever supposed to get there. Like, so we should basically tell Binary Ninja, like, I want you to stop after this function. Let's see, does that help? Check stack. We get that call, but we still don't get the. Also, let me try this. Just manually. I don't want to do that. I want to do. Okay. So does that fix it up? I'm still not sure why it's not Yeah, why is it not getting, okay, so when does it lose it? So yeah, we know we're never going to get there, so we're just hard coding that to be jump. By the way, I also could have done it this way. We just, while we're doing silly Binja tricks. So because I know for a fact this branch, in fact, there's even a plugin that automates this process, but because I know that this branch is always taken, I can actually right click on it and say patch always branch and just like let it do that for me. But then I also wanted to make this one no return, which will mean it stops disassembly there. Just kind of trying to clean this up. I still don't know why it's going away. So let's walk up the stack. So the nice thing about Binary Ninja is you can actually go to all the different IL levels. So we see it here. Oh, I know why. I know exactly why. Yeah, the reason we don't see it is because it's a pure function. So in fact, you saw that pure annotation. And the reason Binary Ninja says this is pure is because if we look at literally just the disassembly, it has 0 side effects, right? Right, exactly. Okay, so I'm just catching up now, chat. So the call is the last thing executed. 100% agree. And basically, analysis at that point goes off to somewhere else. And Binary Ninja does not do interprocedural function analysis. So specifically, compilers, the whole point of having a function call is because you can call there from different places. And this function is never meant to be called from different places. It's like very hard coded and hacked, right? Because they're returning when the stack is at a different place than it was before because they've just hard coded that. It's just obviously it's an obfuscation purely meant to break analysis tools because no compiler would ever do this. This is like not a functional thing for a compiler to do. You couldn't call this function from a different place unless you just had like this weird calling convention where you manually set up the stack and put some other pointer that you wanted to return to. Like, yeah, like this is just this obfuscation technique. So like the more obfuscation that's going on, the more you want to keep like your disassembly view side by side with your decompilation view. But this function, Binary Ninja has correctly identified it's a pure function. So pure means, in fact, actually, you know what? Let's check the docs because this should be documented. And if not, I'm going to go make a fix to do it. So the edit function properties dialog has it, and that's probably the right place for that. And there might be something under here on the applying annotations. Let's try that though. Let's see. Pure. Functions that are pure are assumed to have no side effects and may be inlined if the return value is trivial. Right? So that's our definition of pure. So it doesn't read or write any other memory. And it has what is essentially a constant kind of return value or like a fixed thing. And it doesn't. The only thing it does is the stack, which again is really just because it's like obfuscating the analysis. It's just going to return to like whatever was on the stack here way before. So high level IL, Binary Ninja is showing you this function. It's absolutely showing you this. You just can't tell because it gets inlined, and then because it doesn't do anything. I'm in medium level IL right now. I'm not in high level IL. Yeah. So, but it is kind of showing it because what's happening is it's taking account of what that function did and just putting it in here. But because what the function did was just misalign the stack and shift it, like there's nothing to show. There's no C representation for please subtract 50 bytes from the stack. Like that's not a thing you can do other than like inlining assembly. Like it's not C. That's just an obfuscation technique. And so there's nothing to show at a decompilation level there. If it, for example, did something like return 5 or whatever, and then that value did something else, what you would see is just the value of 5 would show up here in decompilation without showing you any calls because it knew that function was pure. Now that said, we can also, if we want to also fix this, let's see, where was our call? This one, right? Yeah. So we can also, and again, I was hitting Y and changing the properties here. We can also right click on it and choose edit function properties. And I can say, no, it's not a pure function. Don't inline it. And now if I go back to high level IL, I should see, yeah, I should see the call to that. And I'm going to see a bunch of other garbage stuff because those other instructions are all over the place. But I do want edit function properties. No, it can't return either, right? And so that at least stops analysis afterwards. So there you go. So that's how you can make it show up in high level IL. However, there's really, it's not even going to show you anything that it's doing because right, like the only thing it's showing you is a by the way, something screwing with the stack. The return address is like just this other value. So binary engine knows that, but because we're not doing inner procedural analysis, what you really have to do is you have to go back to the function like this that called this function and find out when that was called here, what was at that stack address. So I think, let's see here, can we do, well, we just do stack view, right? So we can look at the stack view for this particular function. Not that, I want to hide the feature map. Let's get rid of that. And what is hex 50 from here? Oh, that is real weird. That is super duper janky. This thing doesn't even have a stack frame that big. Oh, no, just returning out to the parent function. But I thought this was like main. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but it might even be just modifying that value directly on the stack here somewhere. I wouldn't be at all surprised. Yeah, like this is just like super weird obfuscated, and so I'd have to spend some more time looking at it. Or maybe one of these functions even does it. Yes, so username, you can access the stack variable. So you can see the stack layout here, but you can also do, is it get stack? No, is it get, current function dot local dot stack layout. I don't think that's what I want. Yeah, that's it. So you can get the stack layout from there. And then if the variable, you can get the variable, and then you can query the possible value set of that variable at a particular offset. So like here, for example, like you can see that's what's being shown here. This variable here at this point in the function has a constant value of hex 414. Oh, that might actually be a function pointer. Was that, where was I? 414269. Did it actually go there? 414269, no. Yeah. So this, the 269 is actually optimized away. So it's taking me to the next best guess it could. I'm gonna do it here actually. So oh, that's like just some weird, yeah, that's like in the middle of some other function's epilogue. Interesting. The return is OX50 after the pure call. Well, okay. Oh, that's true. That's true. Not from the parent. Yeah, good point. Sorry, I went up too far, didn't I? I see what you're saying. So this function and it's at. So I want to look at this stack frame. So yeah, this one actually has. Well, I think that's the. So I think it was so close though, right? Because at this call, let's see. Once we call here, we're gonna have another. Yeah, I'd have to like get some pen and paper out to like or do the math to like figure out exactly what it is, or even just in a debugger, right? Because I'm gonna call in, so it's gonna add, you know, 4 more. Are we? Yeah, this is a 32-bit, right? 4 more bytes to the stack, or subtract 4 more bytes to the stack, make the stack bigger by 4 bytes or whatever. And so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the return address of this function, and then we'd have to go back at that function and look for, yeah. So I guess 5. Yeah, my head hurts with the math, but that's what I would do. So that's the important part, though, is that you understand the concepts now about why it was being inlined as a pure function, how you can tell it not to do that, and also how you can tell it is a no return, because we know analysis is essentially wrong after that point, like it is garbage data. So that'll at least show it to you a little bit better, but you still have to like figure out where the control flow goes. One other thing you could do, like let's say you did figure out that the that let's say the value that it was going back to is let me see. Yeah, I'm not sure. We're actually one of these, whatever. whatever address that we were able to calculate and go back to, or again, like I said, just breakpoint it in a debugger and watch it do it there. But I'm also a bad reverser. That's why I often use debuggers, because I'm lazy. Let's see, it was like this. No, that's the stack. That's the stack cookie value. So whatever the address is, you can actually manually set control flow essentially using. There's an example plugin where you kind of do it like at a you can just basically tell Binary Ninja, like, please include a branch here to another bit of code, and you can do it with, I always use this old jump table example because I remember it calls the API. Set user indirect branches, sets an indirect branch target on a jump instruction to the list of targets discovered. So in other words, if there is some control flow that's indirect or it can't track, you can just manually say, actually, it goes over here. So what I would actually do is I would straight up just patch this function. Actually, you wouldn't even need to use that API. You could literally just hit, like, instead of where it's returning into the other function, like once I've done the math and calculated it, I would modify this call to just like give it the other address. Just hit E right in the database and then put the address where it's actually going to be calling, because that's essentially what it's doing when it calls the other one, then it returns after modifying the stack directly. So, okay. All right, let me see what other questions we had. So that was a fun one. I'm glad I was able to figure that one out. I was very confused when I also saw the function not going away, but pure was the hint. And again, the nice thing is you can see that right from here. And I think if you hold it over there, the tooltip gives you a description of the behavior too. So if you forget, you can just look over there and look at the check marks. All right, so that was that sample. Now we're going to look at Turla. And interesting. So we do have a bunch of great Windows types, thankfully. Okay, so there's not a whole lot of code other than like the... So let's try something that I think is fun. No, let's do it here. So I can take all these pointers to these imports and then just select them all, and I like to see all the code references. So you can just get a sense real quick looking at like where the cross references to these are in these different functions, because you can select like a whole range of things. So I think that's kind of a cute way. It's actually very similar to what we were looking at in the other example where we wanted to see all of the imports for a particular set of functions. For something this small, we can just do that. Let me see. It's a bunch of strings. And then here's the actual like code. Yeah, there's not much to this, is there? That's a pretty small one. Okay, cool. Let's all right, sidekick, what you got? Let's is this one? That's the assistant. Where's this one I usually put down here? Not investigations, that's not what I wanted. Where did I move? Oh. Moved it over here a while ago. Okay, that's what I want. Suggestions. Yeah, go ahead. So let's let sidekick make some structures and name the callee functions. I just chose this one, which looks like the biggest function, although we could actually verify that. Right. Oh, it's not. No. Which one's 5? Wait. 1560. I don't see that one at all in this one. Let's hold on. Oh, I know why. Because it's already in here. We made a group for it. Yeah. Okay. 8cc. So it's not the biggest. It's in the top 5. Create managed pipes for process communication. For pipes. Okay. So Binary Ninja parse string to integer. It's already starting to name stuff. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Parse string to integer. I agree. Right. So it's gonna convert an ASCII string, or times 10. Yeah, okay, it is. So it'll do it. It's gonna loop over a string, and then yeah. That's not. I don't want that. I don't want to. That one literally is. That's actually just decimal. is the better definition of what we're using here, right? So we're shifting it. We're just going to multiply times 10 again. So we're just converting an actual, char start into an int. I agree. Good name. Wait, was that actually a name provided in the binary? Hold on, let me reopen this thing. Which one is this? This one is 30. Oh, right. Let me open the project. And one thing I like about projects, no, I don't want to open the database instead. I want you to make a new one. Because I just want to see. Yeah. Okay. None of those had names. Wait, hold on. Why do we have? No, that's not the same file. What am I doing? This is 030. Oh, I just clicked the wrong thing. Good job, Jordan. Okay, try again. So yeah, that was a name provided by Binja, isn't it? Fill array. Wait. Yeah. So all of these names that we're seeing now are added by sidekick. So it saw all these: calculate string length, compare strings. Okay. So those are cute. I mean, they're very little functions, but it's super nice. For interset heap, I like a memory block. Yeah. So just a heap wrapper. Okay, memory serial initialization. Yeah. All right, and then this one: create and manage processes and pipes for communication. So this almost certainly is like an over-exaggeration. I feel like there's a lot more going on here. What are the character? What are these? Age characters? But then it actually uses X18 isn't anything. Yeah, I've never looked at this sample before, so I have no idea what that one's doing, but I agree very strongly with all these names so far. Okay, so let's go back here. Where did this one go? And this one, all right, this one looks like, let's just keep walking up some code references for a little bit here. Actually, go ahead, do all of your things. Let's let it, oh, there we go. Yeah, we've got a structure even. Give me all this. Process context, command data, output buffer. Command line, oh. Command data, what type? Okay, command type, where are the cross references to that? This is why I think I had it over there before. Let's actually move types to the other side. Let's hide that. And let's bring the types over here. Okay. So, command type. So where does the command data come from? I mean, these names are actually, it's doing a pretty good job with the names, and we didn't have we just had the imports. But because we've got good type libraries, I think we've got a pretty good set of process context, command data, command length, output buffer. Are we actually going to run the, why is it calling it command data? Command type. I don't think that's really a struct, then that's just a pointer to command data. That seems weird. 1 byte. Yeah, calculate string length of a string kind of one. Like, there's no way that's a single byte char if this thing literally is calling Sterling on it. It can absolutely. So that's a little wrong. There's something wrong there with that. Oh, I'm a little behind. Sorry. Yes, if you modify the control flow, it'll automatically reanalyze. If the control flow overwrites the next function or modifies the next function or calls into the next function or otherwise goes into the next function. Yeah, no, you're right. I think that's the way to go there. On this one, maybe memset. I'm sorry, I think I missed you earlier. You were probably earlier talking about a different part of it. The file name comes from the command. Okay, yeah. So this is like. So this is the little like the things it can do in the little backdoor. It can create a file. Let's ask it. Let's see what it says. No, not investigation. Let's go. So now that so the comment feature is a little bit different than asking the assistant, because this system we can actually clarify and whatever, but it wants to name command data outputs results in a buffer. Process creation, file IO, pipe communication, registry manipulation. Yeah. So it looks like process termination, allocate memory. Yeah, so like this is like basically the backdoor functionality that something else is gonna call into, is what it looks like to me. Sure, it's, yeah, and we can click those addresses, we can see them, but I agree. And there's really nothing malicious here, because these are just basically thin wrappers around it. But the question is, where does this come from? And then command data. Okay, so this one comes from, oh yeah, here's where it's going to, let's go ahead and do it here. Name the callee functions. We've already got most of them, I think. So the nice thing is, the whole point of like this not just being a one-shot thing with Sidekick is that we can make changes along the way. Like if we saw one of those like memset or string lengths or whatever, and we didn't like it, we could just update it before we then went up and started asking it to analyze other things. So post to, where is the server we're getting this from? System information from the registry. HTTP connect session, server name. Oh, so process context. Oh, it's coming from this thing. So this thing is going to load. So whatever the command and control is going to be stored inside this registry setting. It looks like there's like this structure. Yeah, this one needs some. I'm being very fast and loose with this, by the way. This is not like this is how you should reverse engineer. I'm trusting the AI a lot, and I don't like that name. That name is too big. I'm just gonna call it sysinfo. So yeah, but even changing that name now will inform future things. So let's see here. Yeah, we've extracted, and it's just putting under Microsoft cryptography machine good. And what was this one? Control set services. Yeah, I mean, I will say that this, other than this thing, there's also a get here. I can hit Shift A on it, by the way, to make it a wide string. WTR16. I can manually do that too, but A will make an ASCII string, and Shift A will make a wide string, which a lot of these, these Windows strings are UTF-16s, right? So it's usually what you want. And it didn't. Why did it not see that one? We didn't see any references to that. Oh, it's the length of the string. Strings under a certain length don't get automatically created. So sometimes you can just do that. But here was. Yeah, but I want to see, like, where's the actual server? Somewhere in here. It looked like it got that from Connect Arc1. Yeah, okay. Where does it come from now? Is this the same one? Yeah, this is the same one. So it gets, this is the get call, but it's already got the connection. Server name, server address, and port. Yeah, it comes from, yeah, that information I got from the registry, right? So like this here doesn't have, like, it doesn't store that kind of malicious command and control. Like this is actually kind of clean, because yeah, you just see a lot of Windows API calls. If you look, like, just look at the strings, there's no string deobfuscation, I don't think, right now. Like I didn't see any obvious, where are my strings? Where are my strings at? Like I don't see any obvious like signs if you're just looking through like summary of, like I said, other than the fact that these, like, wait, title, interesting. What is title coming in from? Where did that get used? Do super request. Yeah, you can go ahead and create structures there. It's not that big a deal. So wait, where did title go from? Headers. Oh, that's interesting. Are these HTTP? Yeah, HTTP headers. Title. Hold on. So that one's getting folded up into the other column high level layout, I think. LPC headers. Now that, yeah, that one looks weird. Like that's not like, is it putting an HTTP header of title something? Title length. And again, it also comes out of process context, so it comes out of that registry data. So like there's very little information in this binary to suggest it's malicious, which is interesting. But I would say sidekick, so far, I agree with every decision I've seen, even though I haven't done a huge amount of, you guys have been quiet. You guys still here? Still with me? I'm getting a little more in the weeds, I know, in this particular file, but yeah, that's it. Okay, now let's do this. I'm curious. Let's go read somebody else's write-up. Now that we've had our untainted summary of it, let's see what other people describe this as. And let's see what they say. I am not a robot. Traffic lights. Okay. I mean, yeah, most software you can't recognize it's malicious by its name. So, running as a service, saves the result structure, which later. So, this is weird. Like, it's assigned to the sconfig structure. Like, you made that name up. That's not like there's no debug symbols. So you, like, that seems weird to me. Like they're announcing like, oh, and then it does this thing, but it's just them telling us the name of the variable that they've decided to name it. Pretty simple. A few functions, 2 while loops, enclose the whole malware logic. Yeah, register at C2, control loop, process comment. Yeah, and they've just added a lot of these symbols themselves. Thank you, Scott, Rico, Valgrind. I appreciate it. Let me know you're there. Oh, it's been a while. It's been a long stream. I guess long by is relative. For some streamers, that hour and a half, hour 45 is pretty short. And it goes through the list of C2 server stored in registry until it finds one responding. So host registry key, the format. The delimiter is a blank. Right, in other words, there's no delimiter. Who wrote this? I'm not making fun of somebody. That Holger Unterbrink. Talos does good stuff. I like their team a lot. Actually, I might even, yeah, might ask about that. This is also a really old write-up. This is from several years ago. This one is, doesn't check the certificate. Right, I think we saw that. Yeah, the set option security flags. Yeah, I saw that in the analysis. Only authentication uses a stored password in the security, which is checked at the beginning of the communication. Check. Oh, okay, I missed that one. So that was one. No, we're gonna go back up here. Where's that one? Check security, bros. The security value. C2. Yeah. So the command. That is interesting. So our structure. That's actually, what was this called? This was process context. Oh, this one didn't get a, yeah, process context. Here we go. Yeah, so command. I'm curious, do we have their definition for what that sconfig was? But okay, I mean, oh yeah, so this would be nice. Let's do this. Yeah, the code. So let's do this. Let's ask the assistant, summarize the, where was it? Was that it? No. This is not it. It was in one of the other ones. Actually, it's probably faster just to look through the list of functions. Actually, you know what? Let me see. I think I can turn off folders. Is it seamless navigation? No, what does that do? I don't know what that does. What? Hold on. Seamless? Okay, good. It's documented. Enables uninterrupted navigation of item selection without. Oh, okay. I know what that is. I do think I like that. So that lets you like hit up. Wait. Oh yeah, it just as you select something, it just navigates automatically, right? So you don't have to hit enter, because if I hit enter to navigate to one of these things, I'm going to lose focus. But if I'm just hitting up and down on my left-hand side, then I'm like navigating on the right automatically. Normally, it would just update the cross references, but it wouldn't navigate me there, right? So like now I can just go up and down and just my cross references update. But the sort of Binja normal convention is if you just select something, you don't go to it. You only, where was that big old switch statement we saw? Parse command line, parse string to R, compare strings. Actually here, it was called by this one. Yeah, I think it was this one. Actually, you know what? Switch, find all, text HLIL, find. There we go. Lazy way of doing that. Process command data. Oh, and output results. Yeah. Okay. So now let's go ask the robot some questions. Summarize the functionality of each of the command types along with the command value in CSV format. Let's just see if it'll do that. So this right up here, like I want to see like 0, you know, whatever. Like let's see how it does. Set the time, set new password. That oh, I mean, okay, hold on. Now let's do. JSON might be easier. Let's ask it for that instead. Okay, I see time short, time long, security, hosts. What was the last one? Head hosts. Okay, I mean, okay. I think it's, oh, there we go. That's pretty. Okay. All right, AI. Validate command line results against process context, allocate, initialize memory based on validation. I mean, validation result, like that's a long-winded way of saying, yeah, authentication. That one should be better. Where is case 0 though? Is it at the bottom? That's interesting sorting. Wait, where is case 0? Oh, is this case 0? Create a new process. Yes, okay, so it's calling this one case 0. Which is, okay, interesting. Why is the switch here? Oh, -1, okay. Oh, that's cool. So the decompilation is not wrong. That's neat. But it's this -1 here, right? And then comparing, and so the command value of 0 actually does match up here. So it's extracting this out. So create a process, pipes for communication. Okay, that was the one I don't like. Yeah, this one I think is wrong and bad. I don't like that one. How about this? Include an offset field in each JSON entry where the processing happens. So let's see if it does this, because this would be really neat because it'll let us like just click straight to these. I mean, it's not hard here, I think too, but just see the summary, and then we should be able to like just go right to the decompilation for that function if it works. So let's see how that does. This was a great binary, thank you. And I like it a lot because there was no like debug symbols or any information, just the Windows APIs, and yet it looks pretty good. Okay. So 0 is the first one, yeah? Uh-oh, 60D. Oh, I don't think it's working. I thought this one has, oh no, you know what? I think right now when you click on a, no, I think it can do addresses. Yeah, I tried to do that one. No, it didn't. I think it just goes to where you were when you asked that question. So that's actually a feature that might be nice within the sidekick viewer. So let me make a note of that. Actually, I think if I do this, hold on, append to documentation, and then I bring up the, let's move the investigations, or is it under documentation? I forget, let me see here. Let's split here, documentation. Well, that's a little annoying. Oh, does it not? Let me edit this. I think it just doesn't put the backtick. No, it has the backticks. Why didn't that get rendered right? Does that have to be on a new line? Oh, there we go. So yeah, the nice thing is you can edit the markdown on the documentation field itself directly. But and so all the AI like do me this stuff is again part of the paid portion of the plugin, but any of the note taking, the base functionality that doesn't require the AI should just work. Okay, so but why? So this already should be syntax highlighted as JSON, which I think just whatever markdown rendering we're looking at doesn't do all the different syntax highlighting. But why is this one clickable and this one is not? That one looks, does it not do? Oh, it actually has to have the address. Can you reformat all the offsets like this? No, let's do this. So they are markdown links. Oh, I don't know if it's just the rendering. I wonder what happens when it goes to the AI. We'll see. Good question. How much RAM? So Macs are pretty good about, like, this Mac only has 8 gigs of RAM, but also it will swap like crazy. No swap user right now though. So real small. Like, yeah, this is literally a Mac Mini that I'm running this on right now. So I intentionally do not have like a beefy machine. Yeah, this is the Turlo binary ethical. For a 200 megabyte dump process, yeah, absolutely. This is a much smaller file. This is a tiny little file that we're looking at here. Okay, so now if I append it, so discard that, append, let me trash documentation, append to documentation. Okay, so now, yeah, I can click the addresses. That's cool. Except I have to do this, fix up its thing here. Doesn't know that it can do that. Oh, but then it's not. Yeah, okay, now let's do it. Do it as a markdown table instead, please. I don't know why I just asked the AI, please. You know, be nice to your eventual AI overlords. Hey, Alpha, welcome. Yeah, we've been live for a couple hours. We're having a good time. We've been going over audience. Let's see. Let's add that. There we go. Yeah, look at that. It's writing a report for us. So is this like the base of the switch statement? I think it is. So now we should be able to, like, yeah, we can navigate to all of these cases directly. I think it's, is that off? Hold on. 7D. This says it's 3 and that's 3. I don't think that's right though. I feel like it's off by 1. 0A. That's actually 0B. Hold on, let's see here. Feels like it's slightly off, but that's pretty nice. Let's see. So if command type 0. Oh, no, there was a command type 0 all the way up here. And that's command. Okay, is command line valid? This is actually the auth code too. So is auth. It's not is it valid, but like, have you, yeah, do you have the right password or whatever for executing commands? So that's the like auth auth thing there. Okay. All right, and then Yeah, so if you're auth, if auth is not equal to 0, then you get to do the things. So now run all this stuff. So like first you auth, and then you can, all the commands will go through here. So we can look through here. So that's, yeah, that actually was really nice. Ironically, I missed that myself. And the summary did a better job. I would probably, nice thing is we can go through and fix some of these. So the one that I didn't like was create manage pipes for name communication. What did we decide that one was? Execute with output collection? No. Yeah. Yeah, this is execute with output collection, right? So, you can just go in and change it and keep your notes. Oh, wow. It's letting me know where I've currently selected or where I was when I queried it. That's funny. Um, yeah, so like I wouldn't want that in my documentation probably. So I can nuke that from our little notes that we're writing internally. I might want to, this is getting a little messy. I probably would pull some of this. Also, we've been gathering suggestions here in the background. Not a whole lot though. These are all stuff that yeah. Those are fine. Do those. We just got a little more in there. But okay. I think that's, my guess is that's kind of the most of what there is to it. Let's go back and look at the write-up and see if we missed anything else. But oh, look at that. They're using the title string, the HTTP header to set the GUID. We did see that, didn't we? Thought that was unusual. So wasn't wrong. Okay. And that's kind of it. So I like it. It's a nice little sample. Sidekick just really does a banger job summarizing it, I think. It didn't I didn't ask it, but it didn't specifically tell me it was malware, which we could have probably asked. So 1072. Oh, so this isn't a formatting error, I don't think. I think this is it just decided where's the robot? When I asked it, oh no, you're right. Yeah, command value functionality offset. Good point. I think it is trying to prepend. I think this is a minor Sidekick bug. I think it's trying to prepend the location where you ask the question. Like when you do appended documentation, it puts the location where you ask the question, but it doesn't do a new line. So that's a Sidekick bug. It's very easy to fix. Let me write it up correctly. Prepends address without new line. Yeah, so I think you're totally right, and I think it should just be that, right? And if I don't break the, right? Or was there an empty field? There we go. Yeah, I just needed the new line. Yeah, good point. Okay. Yeah, I kind of glossed over that, missed it earlier. That's much better. That's a super easy one to fix, but oh, I didn't realize this was Jags. So this is one that yeah, I don't know if I bet that's your BattleNet too. I'm gonna find you on StarCraft. I haven't been playing, by the way, if you're still watching Jags. We're gonna chat some more because I've been watching a lot of YouTube about StarCraft 2 lately, but I haven't even been playing it a ton. I'm ready to get back into it. So this is one that Ethical Man just actually sent me, one particular example, and I've just been kind of cruising through it with Sidekick, and it basically one-shotted the whole thing. Like, it's pretty good. It didn't explicitly say this is malware, but it exactly describes all the behavior. We had it write up a little summary of the command and control functionality, and we got it here as a little note. We can just like extract out the markdown and put it somewhere else. But yeah, very, very pleased with that. Oh, this one there, so key B. I think this, why do we call this one a handle? Where does this get passed into something that thinks it's a type of a handle? Oh, I want it, that kind of looks like, we're reusing the variable, I wonder there. Just the fact that it's always like, it doesn't, the fact that we're only using it as a byte makes it think it's actually just a byte. What if we do that? Does it look better? I think we do. I think that's what it actually is. This is a little bit, I don't really know what does this actually return? Yeah, I mean, this is only ever returning, right? Mm-hmm. Well, except for that one. If it's not equal to 0, we set it to something else. Otherwise, if it is 0. Yeah, so I think this can only return byte values, it looks like. So I think that's fair. Although this one says it returns a bool, that is a lie. Like, we absolutely see it returning more than that, right? Didn't we? Yeah, FF4. Okay, so this one, I don't know where. Yeah, I want to say it's wrong on that one. All right, it's not flawless here. Let's just change this to a byte. Or really, I should make it just a char or whatever. I'm not a good reverser. Ignore me. And then where's our? Yeah, it's not a bool. It's a char. So okay. Anyway, we could probably fiddle around and mark this up. Ooh, okay. You are correct, Valgrind. There is no question. Terran is the best faction. Nice. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense. You could put a little like registry buffer, and the binary itself is about as innocuous as it gets insofar as it's concerned. I mean, the fact that you can like execute other random commands that are encoded in a registry key is maybe a little bit weird, but yeah, that's pretty innocuous. So cool. Oh, your toss. Oh no. I mean, I was trying to think of the free. I've been going through the campaign again, doing that. All right, I'm about to wind down here. That was a good stream. So just as a reminder, we're out for the next couple weeks because I'll be in Germany. I look forward to seeing anybody who's out there. Please hit me up. Let me know if you want some stickers and find me there. You Heather's also that's funny. Thanks, Jay. Yeah, I mean, like just this is a very, very, very small binary, so it's a perfect little tiny thing to like show off in like 45 minutes. Yeah, we actually showed several different kind of samples. We went through a bunch of different things. The idea behind the stream was if somebody had a particular sample they liked, or if somebody had seen a thing that they liked before. One thing I didn't get to, yeah, we were comparing our results to this write-up. Although you'll appreciate this, Jags. I don't know if you're here when I saw this, but I was reading the Talos write-up, and they're like, and this thing use this structure name whatever, but it's like you named it that structure. Like there was no debug information. Oh, here it is. First, the backdoor resets configuration for the registry and saves it in the result structure, which is later assigned to the sconfig structure. It makes it sound like it came with that structure information, but like, it's just what you called it, right? Like I thought that was kind of funny, but pretty minor. So that was yeah, Tiny Turtle. I like that name. So is there anybody else? Yeah, they're just showing the same registry keys. Different. I don't get to set the timestamp in two different ways. That one's a little weird. I don't know why you have two different ways of setting the timestamp. All right, what was I backing up to? I was backing up to yeah. So we didn't even get to this one, but if you have like tutorials like this, either on Malware, Crack Me, any other kind of challenge and stuff that you want to see me like, oh, I saw somebody do a write-up on Ghidra or Ida. I got a couple in my back pocket. This is one of them. I love like reproducing things and just going through with Binja and show if there's things the other tools do better, show if there's things that Binja does better. So that's kind of the idea behind the Once More with Binja. So take notes, and if you think of something Imagine TIDSPRE. No, no TIDSP. TIDSP. Now I know who you are. If you're the same person to mention that in Discord. Um, so yeah, yeah, good time, everybody. Thanks for hanging out again. Yeah, reply on Twitter or Slack or Discord or whatever, and let me know if you have something else next week, or not next week, whenever we next stream. So it'll probably be at least 2 weeks now, because again, it'll be after, or one, two, more than 2 weeks, because the next 2 weeks, like I said, I'll both be in Berlin, either flying out there or there for the conference and the training. So, all right, well, thanks everybody. I'm gonna go enjoy a weekend. I hope you guys do too. Relax, and we'll catch you next time we're back. See ya.